Remember this. It says write the slope-intercept form. We're going to write it in 2. Here's the deal. Here's your x1. Here's your y1. Here's your m. Start with your formula. You got to write it down before I will help you. All of this, just like I'm doing. X minus x sub 1. Plug in the points to the correct spot. I was helping one young lady yesterday, and all of a sudden she gets it when she writes the points down on her paper too. Oh, that's where that goes. So this is y minus negative 2 is equal to negative 1 times x minus negative 2. Now, what does minus a negative turn into? Plus. Now, we got negative 1, so it'd be x plus 2. Now, that is point slope. You're going to have to read the directions. Sometimes it's going to want it in point slope form. Sometimes it's going to want it in slope intercept form. Now, let's go to slope intercept form. We got to distribute there. Y plus 2, that would be negative x. And negative 1 times 2 is just negative 2, minus 2. What's the last thing we got to do here? Yeah, subtract 2. Do the opposite. Use your calculator if you have to. So now we have y equals negative x minus 4. Negative 2 minus 2 is negative 4. So now we're in slope intercept form. 2 forms. I don't know which one it's going to ask you. You just have to read the directions. Okay, special case. Number 2. There's only one way to do this, and that's put it in slope intercept form. When the slope is 0, all you have to do is take the y value. Take the y value. What I mean by that is this. Here's your y. By the way, somebody was in tutorials yesterday, didn't know xy. This was x and y. Here's your x value. There's your y value. So your answer to this one would just be y equals 5. That's the answer. Now, you got to know. We already know the slope is 0, and it's a horizontal line. You got to know all that. Slope 0, take the y value. I got one more in here that's a little different. Okay. Let's look at number 3. Goes through the point 2, 1, and a slope of negative 2. All right, here's your x1, y1. Here's your m. Start with your formula. Y minus y sub 1 is equal to m times x minus x sub 1. You got to have that written down. Then I want to see you get it into point slope form. So this would just be y minus 1 is equal to negative 2 times x minus 2. Okay, there's no double sign, so we're good. It is in point slope. There's my point slope form right there. So if it asks, you don't have to go any further. You got it in point slope. Now, if they tell you to go get the y, put it in slope intercept form, you're just solving for y. You can't get the slope intercept form without going through this. So here's what we do. Distribute. So that becomes y minus 1 is equal to negative 2 times x is negative 2x. Negative 2 times negative 2 is positive 4. Use your calculator. Now, you have one thing left to do. Add 1 to both sides. Use the top-down method. So y equals negative 2x 4 plus 1 is 5. Use your calculator. That is slope-intercept form. You can't get the slope-intercept without going through point-slope. When they give you a point and a slope. Okay. See if you can get it into point-slope form on number 4. Okay. Here's your x1, your y1. There's your m. Y minus y sub 1 is equal to m times x minus x sub 1. Okay. So that would be y minus 0. Ooh, I'm glad we got that one. It's equal to 1 times x minus negative 2. Double sign. Do I have to write y minus 0? No. You can go ahead and just drop the 0. So y equals 1 times x plus 2. That is point slope form. That's point slope. Okay. Now, we really only have one thing to do. Distribute. So this just becomes y equals 1 times x is just x. 1 times 2 is 2. Now that's slope-intercept form. So when the y coordinate is 0, it's real simple. All right. Number 5. Let's go to number 5. Slope is undefined. Here's another. Put an asterisk by this one. Keep this sheet. When the slope is undefined, all you do now is take the x value. So your answer here would just be x equals 4. Because there's your x, here's your y. So I gave you 2 special cases. One, when the slope is undefined, and you got to remember it is a vertical line. It's a vertical line. So, number 5 and number 2 are our special cases. There really is no point slope form. It goes straight to slope intercept form. And this is slope intercept form. X equals 4. Okay. Try number 6. See if you can get it all the way through. You should have started with your formula. Y minus y sub 1 is equal to m times x minus x sub 1. Here's your x1. Here's your y1. Here's your m. So this would be y minus negative 1 is equal to negative 2 times x minus 2. Double sign. Y plus 1 is equal to negative 2 times x minus 2. Point slope. How many of y'all got that? We're good. You didn't get that, Aubriana? You didn't get that? Now, distribute. Rewrite the left. Y plus 1, negative 2 times x is negative 2x. Negative 2 times negative 2 is positive 4. One last thing to do, subtract 1. So it becomes y equals negative 2x. 4 minus 1 is 3. That's it. Slope-intercept form. How many of y'all got that for your answer? Anybody else find your mistakes? Did you find your mistake, Macy? You didn't see where you made your mistake? Oh, okay. All right, last one, and we'll skip 8. Let's see how this goes. Okay. Starting with the formula. Okay. Should have labeled x1, y1. There's your m. Okay. So that would be y minus 3 is equal to negative 4 times x minus negative 1. Double sign. Y minus 3 is equal to negative 4 times x plus 1. All right, that's point slope form. We got that. All right, now rewrite the left. Y minus 3, negative 4 times x is negative 4x. Negative 4 times 1 is negative 4, so it's minus 4. All we have to do is add 3. Do the opposite. Use your calculator. So now we have y equals negative 4x. Negative 4 plus 3 is negative 1. And you put that in your calculator. Minus 1. Now that is slope-intercept. Getting a little easier? All right. I want to show you this. Here's what you're fixing to do. Write an equation for the line in point slope form that passes through the following point and has the following slope. So use that. Some of y'all may get it with the box down here at the bottom. Now write it in slope-intercept form. You know how to do that now. Sometimes you can stop at point slope. That's the answer. But sometimes you have to keep going.